The England flag, the Cross of St George, has been under attack for years. We've had cases of people being fined for racism because they've had the flag in the back window of their car. We've had people told to remove the flag from the windows of their houses. It's been going on for years. The English, including myself, I have to say, are letting it happen. But there's something very sinister going on, and it makes my blood boil. They are trying to wipe England off the map. A friend of mine showed me his young son's homework. It comprised a map of European countries and a list of countries with numbers. The object was to put the correct number in the correct country. The point is that pertaining to the UK, the following countries were listed: Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, United Kingdom. England is not there. This is wrong geographically and politically. Also, it is an insult to the English. It is part of teaching our young to despise our own nation and to make it seem less important. This is nothing short of slow burn eradication of England as a nation. Bear with me and I'll explain why. This year, 2020, there was a disgraceful attack in Wavendon Gate near Milton Keynes after a couple made a life-size figure of St George dressed in the traditional red and white flag and brandishing his dragon-slaying sword in one hand and displayed it in their front garden. In his other hand, the couple had put a sign saying the NHS will slay COVID-19, a lovely symbolic gesture in support of our NHS. But on St George's Day, they awoke to find 50 bags full of dog shit in their garden, thrown over the gate, and the words Nazi sprayed in large letters on their path. Not only a disgraceful attack on the English flag, but also an insult to the NHS by a bunch of thugs who have obviously never read or understood a history book. Our own Labour politicians are in the forefront of the attack on our flag. In 2014, Emily Thornberry, a UK frontbench Labour MP, tweeted a derogatory picture of a house with a very large England flag displayed on it and a white van on the drive. In 2015, Hugh Thomas, a Welsh Labour candidate, wrote a blog post saying that he was completely sickened by England flags. He said that anyone flying my national flag was a simpleton and a casual racist. And on the 23rd of April 2020, which is St George's Day, Jeremy Corbyn, ex-leader of the Labour Party, another Labour one, wished Ramadan Mubarak to all Muslims, which is fair enough for a politician to do, but he made no mention of St George's Day, which fell on the same day. Not mentioning St George's Day shows where this IRA-loving, anti-British, anti-Semitic Labour politician's true loyalties lie. And now it's even in our universities. We have an Oxford University professor, Dr. Emily Cousins, one of those people who is shaping the minds and opinions of our young people, saying that she does not want the UK to find a corona vaccine. She hopes that her institution's attempts to find a corona vaccine fail because she doesn't want the UK to believe it saved the world, even if it did. She stated that she was worried that Britons would be proud of their country. Well, her job apparently is to research vulnerability and gender, and she teaches on the Women's Studies Master's course at Oxford, another leftist Mickey Mouse degree. According to her, political correctness is more important than finding a vaccine and saving lives. This is liberalism gone mad, and it plays into the narrative that England and all things English are evil. And it's got into local government. Radstock in Somerset has voted not to fly the flag of St George in case it offends Muslims. According to census data, Radstock has a population of 5,620, of whom 16 are Muslim. But a Labour councillor said that the red and white cross could upset people because of its links to the Crusades. This councillor and those that voted for this stupidity know nothing about history. The Crusades were a defensive action after 450 years of violent Islamic slaughter and the destruction of 2/3 of Christendom. But more of that in a minute. And then we have Facebook, that bastion of free speech. On April the 23rd, 2020, as in previous years, many English patriots posted pictures of the George Cross, many with a picture of George slaying the dragon incorporated into it, in order to celebrate our patron saint's day, together with slogans such as "I'm proud to be English." Facebook decided to ban people who posted these images. My favourite reason was this post goes against our standards on dangerous individuals and organisations. So now, according to Facebook, the English are dangerous individuals and England is a dangerous organisation. Perhaps that's why they're trying to remove England from the map. As it happens, Facebook has done an about-turn and apologised for the bans. Now, at first I thought, great, well done Facebook, you've made a mistake, you've found it and you've admitted it. But then I had a bit more thought about it, and I realised that what they had actually done is give way because of the huge outcry from the English. It does not alter the fact that Facebook banned us in the first place, and that Facebook employs people who are happy to ban the English flag, and for that I will not forgive them. But at long last, perhaps the English are taking a leaf from the Islamic handbook on getting what you want, by shouting loudly and accusing the opposition of being racist to make people listen. So what is the reason for destroying English pride in England? The first time I came across the idea of banning the England flag was when British extremist Muslims lodged objections to it as part of flexing their muscles to see what they could get away with, and as a precursor to destroying English culture, because that will make it easier to take over. What they did was to say that the George Cross is offensive because it was used by the Crusaders. Well, first of all, the Islamic flag flew for 450 years prior to the Crusades, whilst Muslims captured 2/3 of Christendom, being the whole of North Africa and the Middle East, and they occupied Spain for centuries. They got as far as Poitiers before being turned back in France. They got as far as Vienna in Austria before being turned back from there. They sacked Rome. They moved east into India and overran the Hindus. They slaughtered 220 million people under their flag without the aid of weapons of mass destruction, and they enslaved millions of others. It took over 450 years before the Pope decided that the Christian enclave in Jerusalem needed to be defended. The various crusades were mere skirmishes compared to the wholesale slaughter and enslaving of non-Muslims by the armies of Islam. This is historical fact. You can look it up. Muslims had killed 220 million people and enslaved countless others before the Crusades even started. But extremist Muslims say that our flag is offensive. But if non-Muslims have the audacity to say their flag is offensive because of its history or slaughter and conquest, then they are apparently racists. Since then, the slur has spread to others on the liberal left and members of ethnic minorities who have no knowledge of or who choose to ignore history, who say it promotes slavery, completely ignoring the fact that the UK, led by the English, was the first country in the world to ban slavery, not to mention that the English have also been enslaved at various times, not least of all by the Barbary pirates, the Muslim pirates of North Africa. There is also the slur that the flag has been hijacked by far-right organisations. Well, I say we shouldn't leave it there. We should take it back. We should display it on our car number plates, as you often see done by rightfully proud Welsh and Scottish drivers. Fly it proudly during the World Cup and any other international sporting tournament. Anyone who brands all English flag wavers as racist or far-right is either a bigot or is deliberately trying to undermine the English identity, which makes it easier to destroy that identity and to replace it. And that's the thing. All this about the England flag is a long-term policy to destroy the English culture by making it out to be evil and by replacing it with an alien culture. And in this, they have harnessed the left and the teaching profession. The alien culture will have convinced the rest of the world that the English deserve to be wiped out. I think Nicola Sturgeon already thinks that. It's nothing less than slow burn eradication of our culture, and the English must fight back. Large-scale protests work with Facebook this year, and every time we see this slander against our flag, we must fight it. If you don't, you're part of the problem. Anyone who criticises England for its history, whilst ignoring the equally bad, if not worse, histories of other empire builders, and ignoring the fact that England has always welcomed migrants of all races, is simply a racist themselves and must be brought to account for it.